The top-selling vehicle category in North America right now by far is compact and small SUVs. Just about everybody is in the market, usually with more than one entrant. Not only that, we're seeing different powertrain options as well. Sure, we've got gas engines, but we're seeing hybrids, we're seeing fully electrics, and plug-in hybrids. One of the top sellers in this segment for as long as it's been around is the Ford Escape. And in 2020, they launched a new generation of the Escape, which included various gas engines and a traditional hybrid. Well, finally now in 2021, they have launched their plug-in hybrid version, and I've traveled with Ford of Canada to spectacular Revelstoke, British Columbia to get my first drive opportunity. So let's take a look now at the 2021 Ford Escape plug-in hybrid. The Ford Escape PHEV is being launched as a 2021 model, even though we're holding this media drive event at the end of October. The reason is because this PHEV variant was supposed to be out last year, and in fact it's been available with dealers since the summer. A 2022 model year Escape PHEV will be released before the year's end, but it's essentially going to be the same as what I'm getting to drive now on this event. The Escape PHEV will be offered in SE, SEL, and titanium trim levels, and we were given the chance to drive the SEL in titanium. Most media drive events include only one day of driving, but this time we had 2 drive days, which gave me the chance for prolonged seat time with each trim. Performance-wise, there really isn't any difference, but the titanium trim does come better equipped with standard features such as the 12.3-inch digital information cluster. You can get this display on the SEL, but it will be part of the optional technology package. The powertrain here on the Ford Escape plug-in hybrid is a combination of a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder gas engine and a 75 kilowatt motor, which is paired to a 14.4 kilowatt hour battery. The combined output, they say, is you get about 220 net horsepower. Plug-in hybrid vehicles do have the ability to drive for extended periods on battery only, and this Escape PHEV has a rating of 60 kilometers or 38 miles. That does make the range less than, say, its main competitor, the RAV4 Prime. It's a decent enough range, and then of course it just pairs up to as it operates as a regular hybrid afterwards. You still can, once the EV only range expires, still operate in periods on battery electric only, and the system itself will adjust for that depending upon a host of factors. It can still switch from the gas propulsion to electric only in speeds up to about 80 miles per hour, I think 135 kilometers an hour. Efficiency is always a tricky one to evaluate when you're looking at plug-in hybrids, because of course you have periods of time where you're driving on a battery and you have periods of time when you're driving on gasoline. So what they create is these sort of equivalent fuel economy ratings. With this Escape plug-in hybrid, you have a combined fuel economy rating for PHEVs of 2.2 liters E per 100 kilometers. And that basically, the way they figure that out, the way they determine that is a liter of gasoline would have basically an equivalent amount of energy if it were only electric. So they work on a ratio, they work it that way, and then they combine and call it liters E. They do the same thing in the US with miles per gallon, and they do MPGE, and this Escape here has a combined fuel efficiency rating of 105 MPGE. It's still possible to evaluate plug-in hybrids using traditional fuel economy measures. They do have effective ratings for that. With this plug-in hybrid Escape, you're looking at a combined fuel economy number of 5.8 liters per 100 kilometers. Just checking my sheets here, that also works out to 40 US miles per gallon. So, you know, the NPGE or the LE per 100 is probably the truest combination, but if you want to use the old metrics, you still can. A plug-in hybrid does have a battery that needs to be charged up and plugged in, and with this Escape plug-in hybrid, if you're using a level 2 charger, you're looking at about 3.5 hours to get it from empty to full. You can still use just a regular 110, a trickle charge, which, you know, a lot of PHEV owners probably still do. That's about 10.5 hours to get from empty to full. So, I mean, more or less, it's an overnight thing. And if that's what you want to do, you certainly can. But those are the charge times. Why go with a PHEV and not just full electric? You know, some people still have the idea of range anxiety. Ford does rely upon some statistical information and studies that say that there still is a strong interest in electrification. KPMG did a study for gauging the mindset of electrification on Canadian adults, and basically this was done about 1.5 years ago, and it said at that time about 2/3 of Canadians think that they will be considering seriously some sort of an electrified powertrain within the next 5 years. Now that would include, plug-in hybrids. My opinion has always been that full electrics nowadays certainly have the ability to meet the needs of the vast majority of families. But for those who still just want to take that incremental step and don't want to go full EV, well then, hey, plug-in hybrids are a good fit. Anybody considering the Escape PHEV will almost certainly also be looking at the Toyota RAV4 Prime. And when it comes to comparing the two, each has certain advantages and disadvantages. The biggest drawback to my mind that the Escape has going against it is that Ford is only offering it with front-wheel drive, whereas the RAV4 Prime, due to its dual electric motors, offers available all-wheel drive. While the front-wheel drive only offering may not have too big of an impact in the US, Canadian Ford dealers will undoubtedly be unhappy given that Canadians gravitate heavily towards all-wheel drive vehicles. It's also worth noting that the Ford Escape Hybrid comes with available all-wheel drive, but not the PHEV. Given the lack of a second motor, the Escape PHEV also has a net power output that's about 27% lower than the RAV4 Prime. But it's not all bad news, as the Escape PHEV is a little over 10% more fuel efficient despite having a slightly lower EV-only range compared to the RAV4 Prime. For those looking to tow, the Escape PHEV's 1,500 kilograms or 3,300 pound rating is better than the RAV4 Prime's 1,134 kilograms or 2,500 pound limit by almost 25%. And lastly, the Escape PHEV is cheaper across the board and trim levels, as this price list comparison shows in both US and Canadian dollars. Given all the above, the answer as to which is the better choice between these two traditional combatants is going to depend on a lot of personal and subjective considerations by anyone looking at one or the other model. It's great to see Ford offering a plug-in hybrid variant of the Escape to go along with its hybrid, and obviously for their overall strategic goals of being fully electric by 2040, this is an important step. It's also great to see another plug-in hybrid option available for consumers at large. It's a real interesting strategic choice they made by making it front-wheel drive, offering better fuel economy, a lower price point, but without the all-wheel drive and the extra power. We'll see how that pairs up, especially when people consider this and the RAV4 Prime. But as I said at the beginning here, it's great to see another option available, and this has been a fun drive in spectacular settings. I mean, come on, look at this backdrop here. Well, that's it for now. Look, if you like this video and this review, please subscribe to my channel. If you're not already, consider sharing it, and also put that notifications on for any more videos that come up. From spectacular Revelstoke, British Columbia, I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.